Hello, this is John, and welcome to my channel, John's Watercolor Talk. Let's start today's live painting. Yeah, and I will paint this photo. Yeah, it was my last live painting, so I will paint with pen and wash today. So this is my favorite fountain pen. It's a Sailor Fountain fountain pen. It's a calligraphy fountain pen, so you can see this tip uh, was bent, so it has some purpose. You can control the thickness, and I use Saunders Waterford Rough paper today, also Daniel Smith watercolor. So let's start. Okay, when we paint this kind of landscape scene, it's better to find eye level. So first I want to indicate eye level, uh, maybe in this part, and yeah, it's almost the end. So in here I need uh, some guide. I don't need to pay attention to describe every detail, so there you have some freedom, but to do that I also have to follow some perspective rules. If you don't follow some perspective rules, it goes some weird feel. So this is the first house. As you can see, I don't pay attention too much about describe detail part. I want to paint some people here. It gives some interesting feel, and this is some dark area, and this is the road. Here is another start with new buildings in this part. This is the second level of the house. Also, it follows some perspective rules. I don't want to paint with complete sketch, but I will draw more after I finish this first color work. If you see some very basic shapes of the foam, you can make it simpler. So think simple. It will help to many ways. And it will give some various unique choices. And there are some far distance, but I don't need to concentrate. So that's it. It's my sketch with pen. Okay, let's start with sky. But in this moment, the ink is not completely dried, so maybe it's better to make it dry, or you can make it blend. So I want to make it blend a little bit. You will understand what I mean. I didn't dry the ink, but it... Oh, now it's okay. So if you don't dry much, sometimes it blend much. So but now it's okay. Quite interesting. It didn't blend much. So okay. So this is the mop brush. It can contain a lot of water, so you can make it blend itself. And the watercolor, water is the most important thing, so make them work for you. And also in the watercolor, negative painting is very important. Negative painting paints background to explain object. So I want to add some mid-dark fill with some cooler tone. So I will add more dark in somewhere like this. You don't need to describe everything, but it's important to give some feel of light. Light is very important thing when you paint, so consider about that. These are quite bright area, so you can use paper towel too to describe this area. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay, I will add some warm fill to the road. Also, give some caramelization with cool and warm color is very important, so I will add some cooler color too. And this is shadow area. I will make my sign here. So you should think about your signature's path. If you don't, sometimes you cannot do some sign work because there is no space for the sign. It's not so good, right? There are also some shadows, so you can make it blend again. Also, this part is some. You can use some dry brushes. It's not so important part. So yeah, okay. Now it's a first wash, but even it's the first wash, you can describe some important areas with some exciting colors. But remember, when it becomes drier, you should be careful for the water movement. So sometimes it's not so good to touch. When you touch some wet area, you should use some thicker pigment. If you don't, it blends too much. So I used some thicker pigment. Blissful, hello, John. Shadow creation is really cool. Thank you so much. And you can also spread waters to give some textures, exciting textures with your bare hand. The hand is also good. Method to give some feel of texture. And now I'm nearly finished my first wash, but even its first wash, I already paint many places. And usually in the first wash, it dries with bright and low saturated colors. But if your paper is not worthy enough to paint watercolor, it gives some strong, vivid colors. It's not some good color work paper. It means it cannot solve enough your pigments and waters to your paper. So this is a Saunders Waterford Rough paper. It's really good to use in watercolor. Arches from France is also are very good paper. So you should choose your papers through your purpose and your materials. If you want to give some exciting water fill with a lot of waters, you should use some good quality watercolor paper. The paper is the most important thing in watercolor. So do not save money for the paper if you want to some good watercolor film. Yes, I hear you. I spotted your watercolor paper at the nearby art store. Thank you. And well done. You can spread some pigment like this, as we did with water. So I think it's good enough. So I want to make it dry with dryer, but you also have to be careful when it's not dried. The pigment can flow easily. So if you push pigment with strong wind, it can be blow. So sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's not so good to you. So okay, I will use hair dryer, and I will turn up the mic for a while. See you soon. Okay, it's not totally dried, but it's dried enough to describe with pen. So I will use this moment. This step is not finished with watercolor, but it's not finished with pen neither. Yeah, so I used pen first, and I gave some watercolor coloring, and I will do with pen again. So you can control the balance if you want to give some strong pen fill, and you can add more pen stroke. But now I think the ink of this fountain pen is finished. Ta-da! So I will use my emergency fountain pen. It's a preppy fountain pen. It's very cheap and very good. So as you can see, you don't know when and what can happen when you draw or paint. So you can prepare a bunch of drawing tools for the emergency, like this. Then yeah, you can overcome the serious emergency. Okay. So now I can finish with some pen strokes. Yeah, normally people use pen to describe strong lines, but you can also use pen for the texture. So I love that. Pen texture are very interesting. So I use some kind of hatching, but it's not very organized hatching. It's not cross hatching, so it's not mechanical. So I give some bunch of directions, and when you use some pen stroke, you also have to think about the perspective. If the perspective too wrong, it causes some problem. But not too wrong, it's okay. So do not give every textures by pen. So just find what you want, and the balance too. You should decide how many area will touch with pen, and how many areas will finish with watercolor. Pen and wash is very interesting, and normally urban sketchers love to paint with pen and wash. I live in Montreal, so in Montreal also have very good urban sketch meetings, and nowadays you can easily find many chapters in your country. So if you are interested about this kind of street painting or urban sketches, environmental painting, search your city's chapter. And go outing. I know it's a very hard time because of the COVID-19. So I hope it finish soon. I love 50-50 amount. Pen 50 and watercolor 50. It's hard to think like that, but yeah, if I compare, I can say like that. So I paint with pen, and I also paint with watercolor brush. It's very interesting job. Okay. I live in Northern California. Had my booster shot last week. Oh, okay. I also hope it will be over soon. Yeah. Do you have pain for the booster shot? When I got second dose, it was really painful. So I'm worrying about booster shot. So in this area also, I will give some touch up pen stroke to give some details, and it also make it combine. If you do not use pen stroke at all in your far area, it can divide with this part and this closed part. And yeah, some lamp has this kind of decoration, so if you want, you can add. Much less, it's half dose here. Oh, okay. Good for you. Yeah, you can add some textures and shapes with pen. And yeah, give some textures what you want. This is a dark area, so you can add more textures. To draw with pen, I use some of fountain pens. Sorry for my pronunciation. I normally use platinum preppy fountain pen. Is really cheap. It's maybe $2, $3. And you can decide using converter or cartridge. I use converter, and I filled with the platinum carbon black ink. It's a waterproof and very strong black, so I satisfied that ink. So yeah, I always use. And before, in the first time in this painting, I used Sailor Fude Nib fountain pen. I also use converter here, but the ink is maybe dried because the nib was bent. you can control the thickness of the line. So as you can see, there are some thickness difference. To describe organics, natural form, use natural lines, not very stiff, strong line. It's natural, you know. So yeah, I almost done. When you combine the shapes and make some group with light and shadows, you can get a lot of benefit. You can reduce your processing time, and you can have some strong light and shadow feel. So maybe I can add more colors to dark areas. So this and this and this are a little bit similar, right? But this is the far area and this is close, so it needs more contrast. So I will add cooler wash to indicate this dark area. I hope you enjoy the pens. They are very cheap and very useful. Okay, maybe this amount. Yeah, watercolor medium is transparent, so you can see the washes through your wash. So try to say your how can I say, your first wash, do not cover everything, because if you cover everything, yeah, you lost your first walks, right? And you can lose your time. So paint wisely, and you can paint very quickly. And efficiently. I'm not sure what I'm saying. I think it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Little bit. One more wash. Very. To distinct this surface. Little bit. So yeah, I didn't give some strong wash, so you can feel the first wash. I like it. There, as you can see, there are some pen mark. Beautiful. Thank you. But yeah, You don't need to delete. It's a part of painting. So please enjoy it. Enjoy your freedom. Or you can add some lines like this, or some electronic cables, and some feel of lines. Lines give some division and some urban feel. Also, you can add some stuffs, some kind of antenna, and something, just something. It also can give some interesting ideas. Paint big shape first, and go inside. Then you can keep the main idea, and you can add some necessary details. You are very creative. Thank you. Yeah. So don't follow your reference. Don't copy. You're a director of painting. You can choose. Like as a movie director can choose their actor or their actress and their important object. Sometimes they remove and delete because it's not necessary in their scene. It's same. You are the director of painting, so you can remove or reorganize the scene as your wish. Normally I use this kind of wide landscape ratio, but many pictures are vertical, so you can make it wider, but you need to have some basic perspective knowledge. Through that, you can manage the scene. Okay, I think it's done. I need sign to my painting. It was really fun. So I want to paint with some talk, with some fun with you. Thank you for watching and coming. And I normally do watercolor live or panorama show live on the Sunday at 9 p.m. EST. So please subscribe my channel and click like, and click also alarm bell button. Yes, absolutely, make it our own. Thank you. Please full. Yeah, I was happy to paint with you. Thank you guys. I will see you in the next live. Be healthy. See you. Bye bye.